We're here at the farm on the Focus. What's next for Focus event, and we're here for Farming Simulator 17, which is coming out at the end of the year. And the series is running for a while, and it's running quite well. Can you explain why this game has so many people enjoying it?
I think it's definitely a different kind of game. So we've got a lot of young people playing the game, but also like a huge farming audience, people who are farmers in real life, and also an older audience. It's not that competitive. It's a cooperative game. You can play together or multiplayer and just chat with each other, or you play single player, and just 2 or 3 hours you relax. So, and we've got a huge modding community. That's also what makes it so successful. I think we've got a lot of people who actually think it's their game because they can customize it the way they want.
When you say these customizing thing, that when I think about when I would be on a farm, I would probably try stuff I can't normally do, like maybe throw cows that they fell down. I wouldn't do that in real life because I'm too afraid. But is stuff like that also possible in the game, or you experience that people doing stuff with the game that you didn't know that this worked?
Yeah, we got people trying out kind of everything that is possible in the game. There are limitations because it's still we're still doing like a farming simulation game. It's not like you can do everything. It's still trying to be realistic. But for example, we had people building bridges with trailers and cutters. They tried it out to like build a bridge that is made out of farming equipment, for example. Or there are people who they try to find out how can I put a tractor on the top of the roof of a building. And so they always try to find some interesting things to do. Or someone was driving around with 300 trailers behind a tractor. And just, you don't want to overtake this one with your car, but there are funny things that people do, yeah.
And is it that in the development that you try to build in so little stuff like to have a kind of Easter egg?
There, from time to time, there are a few things in there, but like I said, it's more about the farming equipment, and we make it. Let's say it comes with an SDK and a modding engine, and that's where people can go really crazy. So the base game is more like this is the farming simulation thing, and that's what we focus on. But the community, they can go really crazy, and with the SDK, they can do kind of everything. And then you just download the mod, you put it in the game, and then you can use this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you also talked about the multiplayer that I can work on the farm together. What kind of features do I have in multiplayer? What can I do together with someone else? And do we have this feature on console as well?
Yeah, you got multiplayer on consoles. The difference is that on consoles it's always like a local server, so it's your farm on your PlayStation or Xbox, and basically your machine has to run. That's kind of the limitation you have, but you can invite other people, your friends, with a password, and then you can work on the farm. On PC and Mac, you also have dedicated servers, so up to 16 players, I think. Basically, if you own the dedicated server, you can also go on vacation and then come back a week later, and yeah, you got lots more equipment because all your friends were working while you were on vacation. So that's quite nice. And you got rights management, so basically you don't want, let's say you have a server that doesn't have a password and random people come in and 5 minutes later all your equipment has been sold. You don't want that. So yeah, there are some features in there to maybe prevent that.
What do you would say regarding the realism? How important is it for the farming simulator to be really realistic, and which parts of the game maybe don't need to be that authentic?
Yeah, we try to balance it here because we could make it super realistic, but then it's not really that accessible for the, let's say, casual audience anymore, or for someone who doesn't know much about farming. And so we try to balance it in a way that sometimes we simplify things a bit, but it's more about the processes. So it's if you take the cows for example, it's you can start small, just feed them straw or put straw in the barn, feed them grass, and they will already start producing milk. Also, if you don't feed them anything, in reality they would die. So they don't die in our game because people would just forget about it, and then they would be sad because all their cows are gone and they lost a lot of money. So they won't die, but they will be less productive. But if you want to get like 100% productivity, you have to do lots of things to actually get to that point. So it's also going to cost you a lot of equipment, but it's going to be worth it. And that's kind of what we do, is like you become less productive if you don't play super realistic.
Okay, and you also said that this game is, for some people, it's kind of a relaxing game. So, and you said that cows can't die, so I can just be on the farm and relax a bit, like on holidays, and then I have maybe a little field with fruits, and I don't need to do a lot of stuff, and still the game works.
Yeah. So you don't have to do anything basically in the game. If you want, you can just sit there and progress time. You can speed it up to like 120 times as fast as in real life and just watch the sun go by. So if you don't want to do anything, you just let it run. But then of course, I mean, you want to play the game a little bit, but you dictate the pace of the game. So if you think, we have people that say that it's for them coming home after a stressful day and just drive around in a harvester, basically go straight, turn, go straight again, that it's already relaxing for them. Some others, you put the helper on, the AI drives the harvester, and then you do other stuff in the same time. But you kind of decide if you want to make it stressful, because it can also be stressful. If you have 5 tractors running at the same time, you have to switch between them, and then it's not that relaxing anymore. But if you just have like one machine and you just want to drive around, you can totally choose to do that. Yeah.
Having such a dedicated community who interacts with you as a developer as well, what kind of input you get from your community? What did you change in the game because there was some feedback from the players?
We always watch the forums, and there are tons of features that people would like to add, of course. Yeah, and we always have to like filter out the ones that we can do, and some take more time. But we definitely, we listen to the feedback, and we want to implement more things. And in a way, again, is one of the tendencies is that it's a more complex game, a more realistic version of it. But then again, of course, we have to do the balance, and that's where we need to find the right gameplay element. I mean, one example that I could say is people asked for, like, when, let's say, your crop grew and it's ready to harvest. In older versions, it stayed like this, so it never rot. And we added the feature that if you don't harvest it, it's gonna rot and you can't use it anymore. And that was kind of a request to make it more realistic. But then, of course, immediately after that feature got added, people were complaining that I don't have time. I don't have time. The thing is rotting, and I lost money now. And so this is where the balance comes in. And yeah, so we have to be careful, because if we make it too realistic, people might also get upset. Yeah.
I guess a lot of requests are also about certain machines in the game. You have. Do you think is it really that important to have the original ones and with very detailed, with everything in? Because I mean, I'm not a farmer, so for me, it's a tractor. I can't see really the difference. So I wouldn't care for the original manufacturer. But do you think that's something which is important for this game?
I would say it's really important, yes. I think we got a lot of people who play the game because the favorite tractor is in the game or the favorite machine. They like the brands and they want to play with them, and they also know them quite in detail. So we've got people, or let's say the game comes out and they take a look at the models, and they know when something is wrong, and they will tell us. So we need to make sure that they are as detailed as possible. We really work closely with the manufacturers to represent the machines the best way possible, and it's also in their interest, to make it good looking and the way it looks like in real life. And if there's a screw wrong, we will know. So
was there ever a manufacturer which said, "Oh, I want to be in your game with the newest machine"?
Totally, yeah. There were some we had to approach, some others they approached us, and actually what we often hear is that let's say some marketing guy from one of the manufacturers says like, "Hey, my son plays your game," and he always asks me like, "Dad, why isn't your company in the game?" And then he approaches us. We also hear these kind of stories, but also like the marketing guys start playing it on their own then at some point. But yeah, we've got all versions. Some we have to approach and then tell them like, "Hey, we've got this nice game, we want to be in the game," but some others just approach us, yeah.
And how many people of the development team were or are actually farmers?
Oh,
do you know that?
I don't know a number, but some came out of the farming community, yeah. And we also hired some of the modders, and they also definitely some of them started modding for the game because they were farmers and they knew the tractors and they wanted their tractor in the game, so they started modding. And yeah, at some point we needed programmers, and yeah, we hired.
So you got some hardcore farmers to work for your company to get the game,
yes,
a better game.
Definitely, yeah. Some are there, but I'm also relatively new in the company, and I think, no, I don't know the number, but because also I'm not in the main office, I'm in the smaller office in Germany now. We've got 2 offices, one in Switzerland, one in Germany. I think in the German office, I think we have 5 that are there, and 3 have a farming background, yeah.
So it's just funny that you have a different kind of hardcore for the farming simulator. So the game is coming out the end of the year, and it's the first time ever for all platforms at the same time. So for PC.
Yeah, PC and console simultaneous launch.
Which consoles are you coming out this time?
We're still gonna have a look at it. The thing is that there are different technical limitations, and we need to see what we can realize. Yeah.
But at least PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I guess.
Next gen for sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, welcome.